Today, being that little bit different may mean buying a Reliant, but it wasn't always that way. In the 1940s, petrol was rationed and few could afford a car. Boys bought bikes, got married and bought a sidecar. Conditions obviously weren't ideal. Enter the microcar. This was the very first, the Bond Mark A, launched in 1949. Taxed and licensed as motorbikes, the craze caught on and three-wheelers appeared in their swarms, manufactured from Brighton to Bavaria. With the exception of Reliant, which was always a three-wheeled car, they all shared the simple engineering of motorbikes. The first Bonds were pretty crude affairs, devoid of rear suspension and powered by a mere 125cc two-stroke engine driving the front wheel. Starting was achieved eventually by a hand pull, which worked rather like a kickstart. But by the early 60s, demand was falling with the advent of cheap small cars like the Mini. Bond reacted by making cars that looked like toy versions of their four-wheeled brothers. The basic simple chain drive arrangement was retained, though in response to the lack of power, the engine was now increased to 250cc's. It had also gained an electric starter. The cars now sported full coachwork and rear seats, but the simplicity remained. It was quite common to carry a spare engine in the back. Their incredible 180-degree turning circle left their competitors dizzy. But it was certainly handy for parking. The German way of building bubble cars was much more fun. This is the Isetta, as made by BMW, although they may try and deny that fact now. Then there's the Trojan, formerly known as the Heinkel, and the bug-eyed Messerschmitt, distant cousin of the plane. The wheel arrangement, two at the front and one at the back, was inherently much more stable than the British setup, giving it the distinctive, even hilarious, bubble shape. With two wheels at the front, they may have looked like cars, but from the rear, they were quite obviously adapted from the world of motorcycling. By the late 1960s, the German offerings had disappeared, and Reliant dominated the market, having taken over Bond. They continued to use the Bond name on the hideous Bond Bug, but even this was dropped in 1974, leaving the Reliant to soldier on alone. But by this time, the world of microcars had gone, and with it, a whole era in motoring. Tiff may have had the excitement of road testing a new Rialto, but I get this little car, this little caravan, and a holiday in Toy Town.